When pleasing others is hurting you, this book will show you how you can unknowingly stray from the path you had set for yourself. For example, you can ignore your own emotions until you can no longer tell what you are feeling. You can ignore your preferences and eventually forget what is important to you. You may sacrifice your opinions for the opinions of others. You might value the advice of others over your own convictions and the voice of God. This book here, please take a screenshot of this book because you got to get it. And I was going to do the way that I normally do with the takeaways, but I just want to read some things that I've highlighted thus far. I've gotten to almost the end of chapter 4. So let me give you the contents of the book. I want to give you the titles of the chapters. Getting lost in your own backyard, getting lost growing up, the pleasing personality, getting lost in your marriage and family, creating a healthy marriage, controlling children, creating a healthy family, getting lost in friendships and the workplace, creating healthy friendships and workplace relationships, controlling churches, rethinking being a good Christian, reclaiming God's perfect you. Those are the titles of the chapters. I'm going to give you a moment to take that in. And I just want to give you the things that I highlighted in this book that really just had me in it had me in a chokehold. So the first thing is in the area of unhealthy boundaries. Enmeshment occurs when people are not able to identify where their personality ends and another person's begins. For example, they do not know they are responsible. They do not know what they are responsible for and what is none of their business. They're not able to clearly differentiate what they are feeling from the feelings of the other family members. They're not able to decide for themselves what they want, what other people want from them. Then it goes on to say, when children learn to care for other people but do not care for themselves, they begin to define themselves by other people's standards. Instead of deciding what they value, they look to someone else to determine what is important. They are all right if someone is a relative, friend, or teacher or coach says that they're all right. Can you see how disturbing and confusing this can be for a child? Then it goes on to, then I underline this right here because it stood out for me. And it's talking about one of the ladies in the book. She says, I learned how to make my parents happy. I just didn't figure out until much later that I didn't get the love and attention I needed. No one ever helped me understand my own emotions. I was never encouraged to be the person God designed me to be. I see things so much more clearly now that I am out of the family and on my own, but I know I lost something. Then there is the attention hunger. Without an identity, children grow up confused about who they are and where they fit in the world. The authors identify the basic needs of children as time, attention, and affection. These three primary needs cannot be met by other children. They must be met by nurturing adults. Attention hunger underlies the other aspects of a child's growth and development. This hunger can be filled by a relationship or attachment to parents. And then we have verbal incest. Another horrifying prospect, children carrying generational pain of their parents, is identified by Hamlet and Warren as emotional incest. Some time ago, a woman in the midst of divorce told me that she had told her children about the struggles she was having with their father. As venom spewed from her, she justified her actions by telling me that children have a right to know. And I said to her that her children were too young to know how to deal with those emotions she was sharing with them. Yet she defended herself by insisting that the father's actions would certainly impact the children as much as they had impacted her. In her mind, she was only trying to prepare them. But what she was doing was that is considered emotional incest. We think that it's nothing. It's like I'm just keeping it real. I'm just telling them about who their mother is or who their father is. A child now They don't have the emotional capacity to handle that, right? And many parents vent their frustration to their children in a similar manner in the name of open communication. But when parents reveal what's happening in their marital relationships, they invariably try to align the child with their point of view in opposition to the other parent. This is terribly damaging and confusing to the child. Then it goes on to talk about if children sense their parents are tired, they may adjust their needs accordingly. They may act out in order to get their parents' attention, even negative attention. Or they may disappear, becoming the lost child. They sense that the parent does not really have the time to devote to them. And when that happens, they will look elsewhere for attention. And this book really just opened my eyes to the things that I was not aware of. How people pleasing is just this little sniper, and you don't even realize you're doing it. Just as time is required to offer attention, time is necessary to offer affection. Hurried affection does little for the child. What else did I highlight in here? Traits of a pleasing personality. This book will help you identify those unhealthy personality traits that cause you to treat yourself in destructive ways. This is the essence of codependency, or the pleasing personality, a pattern of pleasing others by setting aside your needs and well-being to your detriment. This word stood out for me, y'all. I had to look it up. External referenting. So this involves definition. Defining your. Here's a definition of external referenting means defining yourself by the way other people evaluate you. It means being completely preoccupied with what others think. If we don't have a firm personal convictions about our own significance and worth, we will look to others to assure us that we are important to them. Here's an example. We see the person who is willing to do anything to maintain a relationship, even if the relationship is debilitating to them. In relationship addiction, we give away too much of ourselves. We are willing to do anything for the other person without regard for the long-term impact of our personality. When these relationships falter, as they always do, the women wonder why. They do not understand two of the reasons that the relationship failed. The men are incapable of truly giving themselves, building a healthy relationship. Women have given too much of themselves in the relationship. These women have attempted to please others at their own expense. How many times have we given so much to another person to the detriment of our own expense? So many times. We don't know what we don't know. But when it comes to people pleasing, things that we may not have gotten in our childhood, it continues to show up in our adulthood in the form of this people pleasing. And it's so many different areas and ways we do it unconsciously. And this book is bringing awareness to that. And stop right there because my time is about to run out here. And I think that's enough to digest on. Listen. You want to get free. And I'm going through this book slowly, intentional, because it's a lot. And I'm learning a lot. And I'm unlearning a lot as well. So good. When pleasing others is hurting you. Finding God's Patterns of Healthy Relationships by Dr. David Hawkins. It gets better when we get